Every speaking journey has a moment when the work stops feeling exciting and starts feeling heavy. Not dramatic, not catastrophic, just heavy. It's the moment where showing up takes more energy than you expected, and the progress you imagined doesn't match the progress you feel. And this is where most people start to wonder, is this supposed to feel like this? Why does this feel harder now than it did at the beginning? Am I losing momentum? Or is this just a part of it? This isn't the beginning anymore. This is the middle. And the middle has its own emotional weather. When I was early in my speaking journey, this didn't happen just once. It happened over and over in small, ordinary moments. I'd have a day where everything felt aligned. My voice felt grounded. My timing felt natural. My ideas flowed easily. And then the next day and the next, maybe a few days later than that, I'd try again. And it was like my system had forgotten how to do any of it. My pacing felt off. My thoughts just scattered. And my voice did not feel like mine. And each time it happened, I'd think, how can I feel so steady one day and so shaky the next? What I didn't understand then was that this was the process. Growth doesn't move in a straight line, it actually moves in loops. You cycle through clarity, integration, and stretch. You have days where everything just clicks, days where your system is absorbing what you practiced, and days where you're reaching into something new. And that inconsistency isn't a setback, it's the shape of real learning. The middle is emotionally loud because it's the first time your system realizes that you're not rehearsing anymore. You're actually being seen. You're actually letting your voice land in real space. And that's when the parts of you that learned to stay small or stay quiet or stay perfect, they start to panic a little. In the beginning, everything is hypothetical. You're imagining possibilities. You're energized by the idea of who you could become. But in the middle, as it becomes real, your system wakes up to the vulnerability of that. So old protective patterns come online. Perfectionism, comparison, self-doubt, the urge to retreat. Yeah, I felt that one time and again. But it's not because you're failing, it's because your system is reorganizing itself around a new identity. It's trying to figure out how to hold the experience of being seen. So, endurance, it isn't about pushing harder. It's about learning how to stay with yourself when things feel uncertain. This is the part of your journey where you're building muscles that you can't see yet. Emotional tolerance, cognitive flexibility, the ability to recover after a wobble, the capacity to keep going without immediate reward. These skills don't feel like progress while you're building them. They feel like effort. They feel like friction. They feel like you're moving through mud. But these invisible skills, they're what make your voice sustainable. They're what allow you to speak with steadiness. Not because everything is perfect, but because you're learning how to stay with yourself, even when it isn't. When things get hard, most people ask, is this a sign I should stop? I know I've asked myself that question repeatedly. But the more helpful question is, What is this moment trying to teach me? Because hard moments are rarely about ability. They're usually about capacity. Sometimes the hard moment is teaching you how to slow down, how to breathe, how to stay present when your mind just wants to rush, how to trust your voice even when it feels shaky, how to keep going without proof. Hard moments aren't verdicts, they're information. They show you where your system is still learning how to hold the experience of being seen. When motivation dips, and it will, the goal isn't to force yourself forward. It's to reconnect. Reconnect with the reason you said yes. Reconnect with the version of you who wanted this. Reconnect with the people who support your growth. Reconnect with the future you're building forward. Endurance isn't about grinding. It's about staying in relationship with your own becoming. It's about remembering that the middle isn't a mistake. It's a rite of passage. If you're in the middle, the uneven, unpredictable, emotionally loud middle, nothing is wrong. You are not behind. You are not failing. You're being shaped. If you're in this season and you want a place to land, please reach out. You do not have to figure out the middle alone.